Have you ever wondered why some people, born with incredible intelligence, still end up failing miserably in life? And on the other hand, why some ordinary people, with nothing particularly special about them, slowly climb their way to the top, driven by just one thing: discipline? Today's story reveals a truth many often overlook. Intelligence may open the door, but only discipline keeps you walking the path. In a small town, there lived a boy named Ethan. Everyone knew him as a gifted child, smarter than most of his classmates. People believed Ethan could do anything he set his mind to, because his potential seemed limitless. And indeed, he carried within him a great dream: to become a doctor, a noble calling he held close to his heart. At first glance, everything looked perfect. His path appeared clear, even bright with promise. Yet behind that shining light hid a shadow, a serious problem Ethan struggled with, one that many young people face, but few are willing to admit. He could not control his own mind. Ethan's mind was restless, unsettled, like a wild horse running in every direction. Each time he sat down to study, his willpower told him to focus, but his thoughts would drift away, sometimes pulled toward the glowing phone beside him, sometimes into Facebook or YouTube, with endless temptations, and sometimes lost in daydreams that led nowhere. He often told himself, "There's still plenty of time, I'll study later." But the cruel truth was that later never came. His parents, and even his teachers, often reminded him, "You must study with full concentration if you ever want to succeed." But Ethan believed intelligence was enough. In his mind, being smart guaranteed success, no discipline, no persistence required. Then came the day the results of the school's scholarship exam were announced. Ethan waited anxiously, thinking, "If I win this scholarship, my dream of becoming a doctor will be so much easier." But when he held the paper in his hands, his heart shattered. Ethan had failed. Meanwhile, his friends who had studied diligently, patiently, day after day, achieved excellent results. The same teachers who once praised Ethan now looked at him with disappointment, even regret. That evening, Ethan sat quietly by himself. For the first time in his life, he felt deeply ashamed. He knew the truth. He wasn't lacking intelligence. He had simply wasted too much time. In that moment, Ethan woke up to a painful truth. Intelligence alone was never enough. Without discipline, success would never come. And right then, he made an important decision. He had to change himself. Ethan began searching for a teacher who could give him more than just book knowledge. Someone who could train his students in discipline, focus, and strength of character. And soon, he found Coach Harris, a seasoned physical education teacher. What set Coach Harris apart was that he cared about more than physical training. He had a gift for helping students sharpen their focus, control their minds, and slowly build discipline. People whispered that even the most restless, lazy, and distracted boys would completely transform under his guidance. With determination burning inside, Ethan approached Coach Harris and confessed openly, "Coach, I just can't focus on my studies." Coach Harris listened carefully, his eyes kind yet steady. Then he smiled gently and said, "Controlling the mind isn't easy, Ethan. Come, let me show you something." And from that moment, a strange test began, a test that would change Ethan's life forever. He led Ethan out to the schoolyard, where the golden evening sun cast its warm light across the wide-open field. From the equipment room, Coach Harris brought out a toy bow and a few wooden arrows. Setting up a target board in the middle of the yard, he turned to Ethan and spoke slowly. "If you can hit the center of this board, I'll know just how focused you really are." Ethan took a deep breath, drew the bow, and aimed as best as he could. But then, whiz, the arrow shot through the air and missed the target completely. Ethan lowered his head in shame. Coach Harris looked at him and asked, "When you shot the arrow, what were you looking at?" Ethan answered honestly, "I looked at the trees around me, the open field, and finally at the target." Coach shook his head, his expression firm yet compassionate. "That, Ethan, is your real problem. You're trying to look at everything all at once, but a true athlete fixes his eyes on one target and nothing else. Ethan, your mind is doing the same. It's busy with everything: your phone, social media, YouTube. If you want success, then during study time, you must look only at one thing: your goal of becoming a doctor, and nothing else. Ethan stayed silent, a new light flickering in his face. He finally understood, yet he still asked with worry in his voice, "Coach, where do I start? How can I actually become more disciplined?" Coach Harris crossed his arms, looked him straight in the eye, and said firmly, "Listen carefully. I'll give you 4 simple rules. If you follow them with persistence, they will change you. First, control your thoughts. Every time your mind wanders somewhere else, remind yourself, this is my study time. I must focus right now. Second, build a daily routine. Create a clear schedule. Decide when you will study and when you will rest. Over time, your brain will adapt and follow that rhythm. Third, remove distractions. Phones, TV, and useless apps only steal your time. Keep them far from sight when you're studying. Fourth, practice every single day. Nothing changes overnight. Build small habits consistently. These little steps are the true key to mental discipline. Ethan listened intently, every word sinking deep into his heart. From that day forward, he created a strict schedule for himself. During study hours, he turned off his phone completely. And whenever his mind tried to wander, he reminded himself, "My goal is to become a doctor." At first, it was painfully difficult, but as the days passed, his focus grew stronger. Soon, he could sit for hours at his desk without being distracted. Months later, another important exam arrived. This time, Ethan didn't just pass. He ranked first in his entire class, and he knew this wasn't luck, nor was it just talent. It was the result of discipline and focus. About a year later, as Ethan walked across the stage to receive a scholarship, the sound of applause filling the hall, he remembered the words Coach Harris once told him, "The mind is like a wild horse. If you don't control it, it will drag you wherever it wants. But if you train it, it will carry you straight to your destination." From that day on, Ethan lived by a single principle: train your mind with discipline, and success will follow. And if you believe this story could inspire others, don't forget to hit like, share this video, and subscribe to our channel. I'll be back soon with another story filled with strength and inspiration. Until then, stay patient, stay grateful, and keep moving forward.